Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit educational or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Viewer discretion is advised.
Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg shared his reaction to the shooting, recalling his own experience with gun violence. 2 years ago, you may remember Greenberg was shot at and grazed in his then campaign office while he was running for mayor.
Yesterday, I was reflecting on that personal experience, thinking about what my administration is doing, working with the community to make our city safer. And to see a tragedy like that happen in another city is just reflective of what we need to do as a country. We can and we must work together to change the laws in our country.
Now, the man accused of shooting at Mayor Greenberg, Quintez Brown, is expected to have his federal jury trial that's coming up in August.
Great glory to the mighty one. Shalom, beloved brothers and sisters, Jews and Gentiles alike. Welcome. Thank you for being here. It is good to be here. Today is Noga, February the 16th, 2024, and it's currently 4:37 p.m. Eastern Time, pre-recorded. Shalom, beloved. Great Plutonian energy. A lot of energy is in the midst. Of course, beloved, now suddenly you are hearing people, hey, we need to come together, we need to do this, we have to work together, because now they've been shooting at me. You know, back then it's like, well, you people need to pull yourself by the bootstrap and you guys need to work with this or you guys need to work with that. Now it's, well, we need to work together, okay? So let's play the video right here again and listen to what the fellow's saying. It's gonna post it right there. And again, before we move into this, forgive me, beloved, you might hear a humming. It's the fan. You might hear a couple of stuff. It's actually the household appliances running. So, and sometimes you might hear music and the kids running around. So you know how it is. Let's listen to what this dude is saying here.
Yesterday, I was reflecting on that personal experience, thinking about what my administration is doing, working with the community to make our city safer. And to see a tragedy like that happen in another city is just reflective of what we need to do as a country. We can and we must work together to change the laws in our country.
Now, the man accused of shooting at Mayor Greenberg, Quintez Brown, is expected to have his federal jury trial that's coming up.
So, got this dude right there. It's number 66. He was the guys allegedly that shot at the fellow mayor. Okay, now let me see. I think I need to take this one right here. Now, this is when this thing, you know, fairly happened. When it just happened, this is what they had over there.
Kansas City police are giving an update on a shooting near the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl victory parade. Let's take a listen to the mayor of Kansas City, Quentin Lucas.
Things will continue to change throughout the night. That's why we are here to give you an update right now. The chief, both chiefs, will be giving more information both on the numbers of victims, the status of victims. The chief of police will give more updates on the investigation. A few things to note that we talked about earlier. In terms of who was in danger, what existed, it is my view, as someone who did have to run at the sound of shooting, that there were a number of people who were, in the very least, caught up in the incident in some way. Myself, my wife, lots of families, players, chief staff, and others, their spouses, their families, a number of people who were in or near Union Station. So many people have been touched by this incident, and we recognize that. We also pray not only for the victims, including the decedent that was discussed earlier and their family, but also the victims of the shootings right now, who we hope are recovering inside our hospitals. We'll continue to give you updated information. At this point, we've talked to our federal partners. We have also talked to the Kansas City Chiefs. We will be talking to the National Football League and others.
word salad. They never really actually address the issue, the actual issue. Why is those things are happening? I mean, this is after the Super Bowl. This is a great joy, a great honor for our city. But why is this happening over there? Okay, let me put this dude right there so people can see this guy. And of course, beloved, who they would put there giving the speech? Somebody that look like us, so they can say, hey, you know, black folk, you know, yeah, they are the one doing this. As you can see, beloved, the so-called 83, they can't enjoy anything the way that they used to. Because every single thing they try to enjoy, it turned out to be a dud. Every single thing they try to enjoy, some bull always happened and messed up, ruined the whole thing for them. They can go out there, they can shop, they can go to church, they can celebrate their holidays, they can celebrate their victories. That is, if you're considering this thing as a victory. Of course, beloved, when we watch this, we know the deal is done. The time is up, okay? The jig is up. Because when you look at this, you only see those people trying to put a face. Again, we really don't care about what those people are saying, like, you know, we need to come together. No, we don't. I personally, I do not want to come together with you people. When we were in Jacob's trouble, when we were going to the Inquisition, chattel slavery, where were you people? Let's come together and all this nonsense and garbage. All right, let's take another minute out of this.
More so just to hear that all are safe who are with those institutions, and we continue to hope that all of those who are impacted are safe. To the extent you have information about suspects or others, we do encourage you to call the police. However, if for whatever other reasons you have information about the incident, we will be looking to share that through different methods. So if you have information about the incident, suspects and others, please call the police. If you're looking for other information, we'll try to continue to give you regular updates. I'll say this final thing and then we'll come back for questions at the end. Today was tragic for everyone who was part of it. I had the chance to talk to my wife just a moment ago, who said we became part of a statistic of too many Americans.
Suddenly, like, we became part of too many American statistics. Negro, please. Whoever's out there, you want to go ahead and get down with the Chief, you want to get down the 49ers, you want to get down with whoever that you want to get down with, you get down with them, not us, not we. I'm not in your we, son. We didn't take the bag. We did not sign this covenant unto those people. I wasn't there with you, son. We need to do this. Nah, nigga, get out of here. Beloved, as you are quickly going to find out, a lot of the events that are going around the world concerning 83, they are not at peace. And they cannot have peace. They won't and they will not. Because what's going on here, brethren, it's the 400 years is over. The plague is upon those people. And above all, Pluto is in the midst. You do know that the so-called Gentiles or 83, they cannot control the celestial bodies. They cannot control the sun, the moon, the stars, whatever you want to call it, the planets, the angel, the demons, so to speak. They can't. So they have to find a way to explain what's going on out there. And this thing is just maximum festival, maximum pop-off, maximum popcorn festival. It's just all over. Okay? All right, let's take another video. And you're going to see there are a lot of people that they keep finding them missing. Women, children, men, elderly, animals, they just went missing. And then when they find them, they find their cadaver. All right, let's keep on moving.
Tonight, a dramatic arrest of 4 accused members of an international crime ring believed to be responsible for installing ATM skimmers all across the Houston area.
Marcelina Benito is giving us exclusive access to the high-tech crime-fighting hub that tracked them down to protect your money.
Tyler, Texas, population 107,000, one of those Texas cities with that small town feel. And a few blocks from its main drag, inside this former fire station, the unusual home for a high-tech crime-fighting hub.
There is no other fusion center or intelligence center in the country, and as far as we know, the world, that does what we do.
And this is it, man. Anytime those guys are doing a little something, they have to stroke their own ego. They have to pat themselves on the butt. They have to do, well, you know, as far as we're concerned, we are the best. We are doing this thing. Nobody else is doing it because, you know, we are tracking guys down. Okay, let's see who they are tracking down.
This is the Texas Financial Crimes Intelligence Center. The specialized unit, led by Director Adam Colby, has only been around 2 years, tracking organized crime, credit card skimmers, and other financial crimes.
We are looking at criminals from all over the world, criminals that have come to the United States specifically to commit crimes.
Those crimes
okay, who are those
taking a toll
criminals?
on Texans and their livelihoods.
And the amount of money that they're actually stealing is staggering.
Last year alone, the unit preventing the loss of or recovering more than $123 million.
So, you got those guys. This is what they recover, $123 million. Okay? Remember what they said in the beginning of this thing. It's a small, this town, the population 174,000 or 107,000 gives you that small town feel. Which means anytime they say the word small town, you already know the majority of the people that live there are not us. And you got $123 million, okay? Wherever this thing is going on, in Houston, Texas, or whatever that is, all over the world. And a lot of those people are losing their money. And we are not seeing their faces being plastered all over the news and people are calling them out. But they will put the dudes that, you know, sell a little something in the street and make $20, you know, their faces will be all over. But let's keep on moving.
$3 million.
These guys are traveling all over the state and all over the country committing these crimes. And they're very, very hard to track.
These aren't your everyday criminals.
They have a clear-cut hierarchy right down to the point where they call the person that's at the very top the Godfather.
The FCIC helps law enforcement agencies connect the dots and find them before they empty your bank account. Captain Jeff Roberts says it's unlike any crime investigation you can imagine.
It is an ultimate cat and mouse game.
And late last year, a major break. Never before seen body cam video from Pearland PD shows one of the biggest busts yet. But to understand what happened, we have to start at the beginning, when police say 4 members of a Romanian crime family illegally crossed the Canadian border into Vermont and made their way to Houston.
So those guys, people are not talking about that border over there. You know, since when the so-called the Haitians or the black folk that are coming over here barely can come, stole $123 million or above all. Those guys are stealing hundreds, if not billions of dollars. And they enter here illegally. They just cross over to Canada, and the Canadians say, hey, go ahead, dude, go ahead. Just cross, They just cross. And then they come over there and they are doing all those crimes, and it's not all over the news. People don't want to talk about that. Okay.
Also, we're working with other criminal groups.
They allegedly inserted skimmers into ATMs at more than half a dozen Walgreens stores. At the Pearland Police Department, they gave us exclusive access to evidence, like the pinhole cam they mounted on ATMs to steal customers' PIN numbers.
Extracting the information back and putting it onto another piece of plastic so that you can use it.
Law enforcement traced the suspect's car using Flock license plate reader cameras. The FCIC helped link it to this Pasadena dealership where the suspects bought it using a fake passport.
The level of sophistication here is about as high as you can get.
No, they're not sophisticated, man. Don't try to give those guys all those credit. They're not.
What the suspects didn't know, Pearland PD was watching. They spotted them at this Walgreens as they withdrew cash from an ATM. That's when Pearland PD made their move.
Turn around!
Making a pivotal traffic stop, taking down Dimitru Catalin Lixor and Marius Constantin Tika.
Got him. The credit cards.
In the car, Pearland PD found $14,000 in cash and over 300 re-encoded gift cards with stolen victim information.
If you're talking monetary loss, huge impact. And you're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars that are known.
Later that day, HPD raided this Airbnb rental in Sunnyside. Inside the home, police found a sophisticated skimmer manufacturing facility. They arrested Alexandru Jean Marcoux and Gabriel Jean Bulmachi.
What's unheard of is to take down 4 people, find the location that they're manufacturing the skimmers, catch them on site doing something else. It was a huge success for every agency that was involved, and a direct result of just the teamwork that's happening.
All 4 suspects locked up now on a combined $44 million bond and could face up to life in prison for engaging in organized criminal activity. The FCIC says its role in helping dismantle this operation, proof what happens here, is working.
Yeah. So you see what those guys are doing, those Eastern European fellows, those Romanian and those Ukrainian guys, when they come down there, their crimes are barely uncovered. And they are stealing millions. Those people were stealing, they had $14,000 in cash. They just started the day. They had $14,000 in cash. They just copy your stuff, remade it, and then stealing everything. So their empires are being brought down. Let's keep on moving.
One person is dead and a Meigs County Sheriff's deputy is missing. Authorities believe that deputy drove his patrol car into a river about 45 minutes north of Chattanooga.
All right. There you go. Let's enlarge this. Chattanooga, it's in Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, Knoxville is over there also. Highway 40, we are in the 40-day fast, of course, and Highway Interstate 75, of course, the 12 drive is in there, Knoxville. So Chattanooga, and this officer, for some reason, drove his car into a river, and then they found him dead, I believe, though.
Chattanooga.
Right now, investigators say the person in the back of the patrol car died, and again, the deputy at the wheel is missing.
We have a crew at the site of the crash in Meigs County. 10 News reporter Olivia Daig has the latest for us.
Authorities say they found Deputy R.J. Leonard's patrol car in the Hiwassee River at 4 a.m. this morning. They were able to pull it out around 11:45, and that's when they found a body in the back seat. The car was covered in mud, so we don't know the identity of that body found in the back seat.
Authorities say the deputy's patrol car had his driver's side window rolled all the way down. Authorities also say that cell service and radio service is very unreliable in this area.
Oh, no, of course it is.
Authorities also say that there have been other people who have driven off this same Blythe ferry in the past. Hamilton County Sheriff Austin Garrett says that this week and the past few days have been incredibly challenging, draining, and difficult for all people who wear the badge across this area.
There you go. Now those people are catching hell. Now you guys are exhausted because it's happening to you. It's happening in your community. It's happening to your people. It's happening to your nation. It's happening to your conglomerates. It's happening to your federation. Now you guys we tired, man. Like, yo, why? What's going on? We got that shooting over there in Kansas and all that stuff and things. Let's listen to this again, okay?
Authorities also say that there have been other people who have driven off this same Blythe ferry in the past. Hamilton County Sheriff Austin Garrett says that this week and the past few days have been incredibly challenging, draining, and difficult for all people who wear the badge across this area.
The men and women who are here conducting this search were in Knoxville and Blount County yesterday and the night before for visitation, and come home last night and turn right around and respond out on this. Men and women haven't been to bed.
Law enforcement agencies from around the surrounding areas have been here in Meigs helping this community out. They say it's just another devastating day for the law enforcement community. I'll send things back to you.
Again, like I said, beloved, let me see if we have the, what is this? Okay, did they find the guy? I believe there's one they said they find him. But now you guys are exhausted. Okay? This doesn't sound right to me. A deputy that works in that county driving this road day and night, rain and fog, and he accidentally drove off a boat ramp just for curiosity. I'd like to know how many calls this deputy has responded to at this very boat ramp for theft, drunks, etc. I think this, yes, they have found him in the river. I think they did found him. Yeah, I think they found him. You know what? Let's double check the earliest we can get here. Oops. I think they did. What's going on here? What happened? Is that the same thing? Let's check this one.
At 6, a man accused of shooting 2 Blount County deputies, killing one and wounding another, appeared for the first time in court today. Kenneth Wayne DeHart Jr. faces 3 serious charges. A first-degree murder charge for the death of Deputy Greg McCowan, an attempted first-degree murder charge for wounding Deputy Shelby Eggers, and a 3rd charge tied to a felon in possession of a weapon.
All those charges are tied to a deadly traffic stop.
Okay. I think they find a guy. They found him. All right, let's look at the end of this right here.
Enforcement community. I'll send things back to you.
Okay. All right, let's check this one.
Learning more about a missing Meigs County deputy and a woman they say he arrested. This happened in Meigs County, and this involves Deputy Robert R.J. Leonard and his cruiser that
Man, he had a woman in the back?
disappeared, according to authorities, in the Hiawassee River last night. Again, this is while he was taking a woman to jail.
Authorities found the deputy's cruiser in the lake today. A body believed to be that of the woman he arrested was found in the backseat, but the deputy, he is still missing. Now, this happened on Blythe Ferry Road in the Birchwood community in southern Meigs County. 10 News reporter Krista Lucas is there with the latest.
Take a look at right behind me. This is where they found the car and the body at Blythe Ferry. Deputy R.J. Leonard was at home when he responded to a call in the area.
The call was somebody jumping out in front of vehicles on Highway 60 around the bridge. Deputy responded, got here at 9:48 p.m. Within 3 minutes, he had her in custody, was transporting her to the Meigs County Jail.
The wife sent back a message, but that message was never delivered.
He was actually on shift, which began at 6 p.m. So he was actually at home with his wife when the call came out.
Authorities say they started searching for him right after they sent a signal out, and they...
Man, you are at home with your wife, and then they sent a call. You know, you have to go ahead in there and respond it, and you don't come back. This is the type of thing 83 are dealing with out there. Of course, beloved, they don't want to say anything about that. Everybody like, over there, and over here, and those people over there, and to the migrate and pull yourself by the bootstrap. Nah, the mighty one is dismantling the police department. Of course, beloved, remember a few years ago we had a fast called avoid and dismantle and this dilapidated, crush and displace and keep them busy. Those guys are busy. You're at home with your wife, chilling. I don't know why that dude is at work, but somehow he's at home with his wife. But anyway, he received this call, and then he went and go ahead and arrested this woman, and they drove in the lake, and they don't know what happened. Of course, beloved, they don't know why exactly he drove in the lake. To this cab, I'm assuming, if they found his body, to this fellow, he was on the right track on the right road, and somehow, boom, he entered it. Boom, he exited, he entered out of the lake.
did not receive anything back.
a call down here on the very south end of the county. Our north end officer, he could be up to an hour away. And so it's common for us to respond to calls by ourselves.
Authorities say they are now working on identifying the body who they found in the back seat.
The end goal is to find Deputy Leonard and get him back to his family.
We will continue to give you updates as we find out more. A bunch of agencies have come out here in Meigs County. They're helping out, trying to provide new technology that this county doesn't have, so they can speed up things. For now,
Okay.
I'm going to send it back to you.
All right.
Krista Lucas reporting again. We are following developments. We'll bring you anything new in this newscast.
Let me see. Very sad. He was from New York. Had only there for 2 months. Another station said he was new to their law enforcement. They say if you didn't know the area, it was easy to go over. Yeah, all right. Well, you people are being no more. Let me see what's going on here first before. Okay, we got 4 more minutes. Then we will jump to Patreon and give a little announcement, public announcement. All right, let's keep on moving, beloved. Okay.
A child finds drugs at home and turns them into police. The person taken into custody, his own mother.
Really?
All right, so this is what it, well, they don't say the drug, but it actually meth. And this is what those people are going through, Benjamin, okay? Let's watch.
It's heartbreaking moments right there that unfolded, all caught on video. 8 News Now investigator Vanessa Murphy has this story you'll only see here.
A child hands a police officer a bag of drugs.
Well, thank you. So, we were called to come check on your son.
A second police officer tries to comfort him.
What's up, little man? What's going on? Hey, I'm Officer Hanson. You scared? What's going on, man? What's going on? Do you want to take a seat on the bench?
He's got my phone in the bathroom for like an hour.
This is the boy's mother, Kendra Long.
I have no idea.
I have no idea what that is.
Well, you just handed it to me.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know.
So this is your child?
This is my baby. Yes, he's in the bathroom for an hour.
Okay.
Literally an hour.
The child had FaceTimed his father while locked in the bathroom. The parents are divorced. The dad called police.
He was showing Tony this stuff that he found in the house.
I don't even know what that is.
Well, I don't either.
The other officer then talks to the 9-year-old boy who's in tears.
And what did you find inside the house that made you scared? Okay. Do you know what drugs look like?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Just take some deep breaths.
He says he found the drugs under his mother's nightstand.
I just saw a couple bags. I was curious. Pull it out, and then I really knew what it was.
Yeah, from like TV and stuff.
What?
Like you thought like maybe it was drugs from like TV and stuff.
Yeah.
Officers examined the drugs.
Yeah, that's a lot of meth. Wow.
It's not just like a little baggie, you know. Yeah, it's like one of my top 5, you know, in my 20-year career of meth hauls.
So the mother, that's a lot of meth. This child saw this, okay? The mighty one is turning their own children on them. And so my mom selling and smoking meth. Meth is one hell of a drug. Meth is a demonic job. Meth is way... Those people... Okay, dad says system fell, son after boy, hands Las Vegas, The mother was on meth. That's the mother right here. I think they have her sit down right here. Let me see. She was sitting down. Yeah, here we go. That's the place. All right, let's keep on watching.
I can honestly say after 21 years, this is the first time that a kid's walked out with 12 pounds of meth in a baggie and handed it to us. If that is meth, then yeah, that's quite a bit of meth. It's not just recreational or personal use. That's
okay. 12 pounds is a lot. There's a lot of meth.
Enough for a couple hundred people to party on a weekend. Over, yeah.
Turns out this was more than 100 grams of meth, according to police.
That you do have the right to remain silent.
Me?
Oh, yes.
If you give up that right, you can say anything you say can will be used against you in a court of law.
Me, I have the right. Are you, sir? Excuse me. You are inside my me. Come on, officer.
Enough for, you know, a couple hundred people to party on a weekend. Over, yeah.
Turns out this was more than 100 grams of meth, according to police.
That you do have the right to remain silent.
Me?
If you give up that right, you can say anything you say can will be used against you in a court of law. It's in your house. This is your house.
This is not my. I don't even know this was here. I can't even understand or fathom the fact that this is drugs in my house.
Long is arrested for drug trafficking and child abuse.
Does Cuss feel okay?
This was in July of 2020.
Does Cuff feel okay? Are you comfortable? You know, we're hurting you. We know. You know, we'll go soft on you. But you know, yeah. Okay, look at the eyes, okay, beloved. Always pay attention to the eyes. Look at the pupil. Okay, look at the eyebrow. Those are drawn in. Okay, you can clearly see the aspect in them.
Long posted a $25,000 bond that same day. Violated a family court order and broke numerous other rules, court records show. Still, she received no hard prison time and was given probation, which prosecutors say she violated. She was also
that's why those people felt like this, you know, me, and they'll violate everything, and nobody won't shoot them down, won't choke them down, won't put any knee on their neck, won't do none of that. But now things are getting a little hectic.
Sent to an inpatient drug treatment program. In her criminal case, prosecutors pointed to these text messages showing she clearly was dealing drugs. You want a $100 bag or half? The deal taking place with her son home. So it appears this was all an act.
I mean, to me, it looks probably like methamphetamine. You know,
What is that?
you know what meth is.
What is that? You know what meth is, man. Come on. Methamphetamine, what is that? They are very good liars. 83, especially the women, they are very good liars. They are perfect liars. They are God and goddess when it comes to lie. They are very distinguished actors. What is that? I don't know. I don't know the fact that drugs get in my home. I don't know. And again, beloved, this child that did this actually either saved his life or her mother, or saving people's life, many people in the future's life. Because you will have those women, they are dealing drugs in their home, okay? And then you will have men coming over there to their home and buy drugs, and then they get high, and this little boy might get touched or something happened to him, and then he go up with all those anger, and then when he become a bully other kids, and then when he reaches barely prepubescent teen or whatever, take up like AK-47, go to his school, can't deal with this stuff, and then popcorn the whole place, jiffy pop all those kids and take them down because of this thing that happened to him when he was a kid when his mother was dealing meth. And they're gonna let this woman out, and she's going to go back and do the same thing. And because there's a lot of money in it, man. Not only that, it's just those people, the blessing is over. The way that they used to live, they can't live like that anymore, okay? The blessing is over, so that's why they got this thing going on.
I mean,
Come on.
What happened?
Everybody knows what meth is. You watch Breaking Bad. I mean, Jesus.
I have not seen Breaking Bad.
Well, you should.
While police say his mother is lying, the child is recognized for his honesty.
Good job, buddy. Proud of you. You did the right thing.
He did
Vanessa
the right
Murphy,
thing, man.
8 News Now.
All right, he did the right thing. I don't know what meth is. They're very good liars, Bridget. Okay, they can do this thing right in front of you, right on camera, and then when you question, you're like, why did you do that? Me? I don't know what you're talking about because I have no idea how this thing and whatever. Anyway, so beloved brothers and sisters, Jews and Gentiles alike, for those of you that are watching, if you wish to study with us through our Patreon, please join unto us. We are in the last chapter. Tonight we're going to study chapter 9, the last chapter of Black Labor, White Wealth by Dr. Claude Anderson. It's a part of Jacob's Trouble. Would you like to know what happened to us doing Jacob's trouble? Why those people have all those benefits that they're enjoying? Why this woman said, me? I don't know what meth is. All of those answers, they are in this book. And if you love those magnificent photos, you can sign up to our Patreon and download them for free. Okay, we have strategy 2, wealth and group economics. If you would like to get some of our homeworks, okay, we have the homeworks. This is the priesthood of Mahan, the 83 churches priests. This is the depiction of them. This was made by the students. And this is the depiction of the priesthood of Mahan church when we were studying how the Catholic Church, the Protestant Church, and all the other churches, they are demonic entities that had implemented slavery upon our people. So if you are doing an expose or you're doing certain videos, you would like some of the images here, you would like that, those reptilian fellows which we are not afraid of, and you can go ahead and sign up and download those pictures and make your videos or whatever that is, whatever that you want to do. So, okay, beloved. All right, if you would like to get those, you can sign up, and we have the art class coming up after the fast. And if you wish to sign up, you will find a place. We will make the announcement. You can sign up, and you can go ahead and do stuff with us. Okay, so this is strategy number 2: wealth and capital formation. Chapter 8: becoming politically and economically competitive in America. Psychological and social conditioning process. Of course, everything that happened to us is a conditioning process. Let's keep on moving. How long we are into this thing? Okay, 37. Let's keep on moving. Now, beloved, why is this happening? Why is every single time you turn on the news or you turn on your phone, it is always something traumatic? And usually the people these things happen to is either not us, or even if it's us, it's somebody that look like us. What's going on? Why is the entire world is upside down? Well, because the lies has been uncovered. The truth is in the midst. Pluto is here. 400 years is over, okay? As we know in Genesis 15 verse 13, and he said unto Abraham, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. Yes, indeed, those people afflicted us. We served them for 100 years. That is why 1619, 2019, right after 2019, beloved brothers and sisters, Jews and Gentiles alike, whether you want to agree or not, the entire world changed since 2020, since 2019. 2019 was the last normal, so to speak, type of year that so-called 83 had, because everything after that turned out to be a nightmare that they can't wake up out of. It's a looping nightmare. This thing threw them in the loop and they can't get out of it, just like we were thrown in the loop, which is, of course, number 9. Now, beloved, we are in 2024. Pluto is in the midst. X is coming to mark the spot. And the Mighty One says, Genesis 15, verse 14, and also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, okay? And the Holy One is judging this nation through the 10 plagues of the apocalypse of Abraham. We highly recommend you read this book and others. The popcorn, number 9, execution by the sword, and all these things, the famine, the sorrow. And you can see the police officers, they are not too well with their job because it's become so exhausted, so draining. They are so tired because they keep, the man was at home with his wife. He from New York. Those people say from New York. Most likely he was working in New York, and then things got out of hand over there in New York. So he came in a little small town in Chattanooga or whatever, close to Chattanooga, and then he died. Okay? So what we told those people, no matter what you do, you cannot escape the judgment. Whether you run, you hide, you will not, you cannot, you won't escape this, because you are locked in number 9, which is destruction for you, and we are locked also in number 9, which is protection and blessing for us. We are now the head. You are officially the tail. We are first now and you're last. This is your time to suffer your consequences of the action of your ancestors, your grandparents, your people, your action. Yes, indeed, there will be no Jacob's trouble. There is no Jacob's trouble. You will not bring Jacob's trouble to us again because we've been in Jacob's trouble. The Inquisition was Jacob's trouble, or part of it. Now, a lot of people might think the Inquisition was the Spanish Inquisition. That said, no, we have the European Inquisition. We have the Roman, the Greek Inquisition. We had the Japanese, the Chinese. We have the East Asia Inquisition, where you were going around and massacre and destroy our people and take over their land and destroy them, and then make it seems that you were always there, or you just come up with those stuff. Okay, all those stuff were in part of Jacob's trouble. Of course, chattel slavery was the main thing of Jacob's trouble. Jim Crowism, all the colonization all over in Africa and the Caribbean, over here, everywhere, they were part of Jacob's trouble. Okay, now it is time for those people that have done those horrible and terrible things to pay. Okay, there's nothing we can do about this. Let's keep on moving. How long we are into this good grief? All right, let's keep on moving. We might do an hour and a half now.
And tonight we're learning more about this woman, Lisa Lopez Galvan, a radio DJ who was shot and killed during yesterday's Super Bowl celebration in Kansas City. Her family describing her as an amazing mother, wife, and daughter. They released a statement saying, "We ask to please keep our family in your prayers as we grieve the loss of Lisa's death, while also supporting our other loved ones who are impacted in this senseless act."
Now, again, like we said it, Bridget, okay, this is a Super Bowl parade. This is something that people should be happy and celebrate like they used to. It's something they should cherish. It's something they should like, wow, you know, we are doing this thing over there and over here. Everything is good in the hood. Nothing is unusual and things happening. I love this, but hey, somebody lose their life. And we told people, man, the time for you to do the Super Bowl, the playoff, all those things are gone, man. Just accept it. But some people refuse to accept it, and this is what happened, okay?
Well, she was one of the more than 20 people shot in what investigators say started out as an argument.
Preliminary investigative findings have shown there was no nexus to terrorism.
Yeah, her last name is Graves. Gravis. Serious. Graveyard. All right.
Or homegrown violent extremism. This appeared to be a dispute between several people that ended in gunfire.
Kansas City Police Chief goes on to say 2 teens are still detained and investigators are trying to figure out if others were also involved. Of the 22 people shot, half of them were under the age of 16. Once the shooting began, many started looking for cover, including Chiefs offensive lineman Trey Smith, who helped guide fans into a nearby closet.
Right before I run in there, there's like a little kid in front of me, so I just grab him, just yank him, and just tell him, "You're hopping in here with me, buddy." So I don't know how many people there were in the closet, maybe 20 plus. One of my teammates, my long snapper, James Winchester, was very instrumental in helping keep people calm.
And not too long after the shooting, many began demanding stricter gun control laws, including the White House, with President Biden saying, "For this joy to be turned to tragedy today in Kansas City cuts deep in the American soul. Today's events should move us, shock us, shame us into acting." He went on to say, "What are we waiting for? What else do we need to see? How many more families need to be torn apart?" According to the Gun Violence Archive, there have been at least 155 mass shootings in the U.S. since 2013, killing 157 people and injuring 595 others. The organization defines a mass shooting as an incident where at least 4 people were shot, not including the shooter. And this is still a developing story, and we'll keep you updated as we learn more.
Whatever you want to say, son, whatever you want to do, you people always acting like we are not awakened. You're acting everything is fine, although you see it, it's not fine. Everything is not well. But who cares? Let me say this again. Well, let us say this. You can only hold your charade for that long. Because it will come a time very near, not something that would take 20, 10, 5 years to happen. Okay, very near. You would not be able to hide any of this. Of course, you are unable to tell the truth. You would still act up. But it will be the people that will come after you. And you know why they're going to come after you? Because you put those folks online telling them lies how you, the government, and the elites are doing this or somewhat faking this or controlling this. And guess what? When those people have enough, they're going to come after you and the so-called elite. And they are. They're going to take you guys. So, of course, you cannot go over there and tell them, well, the reason why this is happening because the land that we are standing upon here on the fourth part, and most of the land around the world, they do not belong to us. They belong to the so-called black people that we come here. We saw them in their own land. We enslaved them. We beat them. We robbed them. And then now their God, which had punished them, which they thought were abandoning them. And now this thing is coming back to hunt us. And whatever that we do, whatever that we did in the past, we'll pay for it. And the things that we do here won't matter. You won't say this, but the truth is, that's what it is. And you're going to suffer from this. Beloved, telling you the truth myself, I do not know the future. I have no idea what's going to happen right after I release this video. We are a few months away, not a few months, at least 2 more months, 6 weeks away, I'll say 6 to 8 weeks away from our new year, okay, when the new year, the spring is getting there, okay. Some people celebrating spring the 17th, and I personally, whenever the sun enter Aries, around those times, that's when I consider it's the new year begin. Some people March 17. It doesn't matter. This ain't gonna change nothing. Ain't gonna change nothing. And what's gonna happen here, you will see an amplification of those tragedies in the midst of those people. And it's gonna be very clear, just like it is clear now. Okay, the moment April 8th get here, the X mark the spot, the eclipse, boom. And those people will try to fake things as if they are doing this. Oh, this billionaire, him and his entire family die in a plane crash. Well, yeah, they are escaping tax. And you know, those billionaires, they don't want to pay tax. They were paying so much tax. So they killed themselves. They faked their death, just like Tupac and Michael Jackson living in Cuba. And you know, so they won't do this. Yeah, whatever you say, son. Let's keep on moving.
We have live team coverage of the investigation and the condition of those firefighters. NBC4's McCullough Medina starts us off at the site of the blast in Wilmington. Mac.
And boy, it was a very big blast. It even threw one of the neighbors 30.
Okay, this dude's name is Micalo Medina. Well, Micalo, let me see what it could be another way of spelling Michael, I believe. Micalo, is that what that is? Oh man, this dude pop up right there. Meaning Mikala means something in Buddhism, pardon. No, it's not Mikala, it's Mikalo. Yeah, Mikhail. It's just Mikhail. I believe Mikalo is a Spanish for Mikel. Okay? Mikel or Michael. No, that's Mikal. But anyway, so let's keep on moving.
One of the neighbors 3 feet rather into the air. We just got some new surveillance video of the...
Of course, beloved, how many firefighters that are injured in this thing? You do your thing.
Blast as well from a neighbor that lives about 50 feet away.
You can see from surveillance video the blast as firefighters were trying to put out the fire.
Huge explosion.
You can hear it and see the shaking of other surveillance cameras.
It felt like a big old bomb.
The truck was equipped with two 100-gallon compressed natural gas tanks, or CNGs, with over 3,000 pounds of pressure. One of those tanks blew moments after firefighters arrived.
It exploded and we went to turn. When I turned is when I flew 3 feet in the air.
Neighbor Alexandra, who didn't want her face shown, was bruised and scraped, but okay. She was among the first to call 911.
And it sounded really just harsh, like an earthquake slash something, big, huge bang.
Okay, again, beloved, this is the type of forces it takes to make those boom. When those people are saying, we heard those boom, and people are like, oh, well, nothing happened. That's nothing. That's just natural. That boom you heard is just some fat dude during a flatulence contest. That's nothing. No, that's not what that is. This is the amount of force it takes for those things to come out, you know? All right, let's keep on moving.
Neighbors who felt the blast shared surveillance video of when the fire first started around 7 a.m. You can see the flames there on the hood. Firefighters arrived and were attacking what appeared to be a normal vehicle fire. Except this wasn't a normal vehicle. It was fueled with those CNG tanks.
6 minutes after arriving on scene, one of those CNG tanks exploded. And it tragically injured 9 of our members, 2 of them critically.
The fire burned for several more hours after crews rushed to clear their injured firefighters.
All right, let me say something here. I said it in private doing studies, but I think it merits to be saying publicly here. So-called 83 have not advanced when it comes to technology. They just sprinkle some glitter and some decoration on fecal matter and make it look pretty. The whole thing going about like electric cars, they are not that advanced. You see, for an electric car to be an electric car, it needs to be charged. The battery should be able to hold the charging it for at least 1,000 years. Okay, that's what they do. Through the records that would come up to our private studies, we find out the other vehicle. We made a video a very long time ago. Those ancient flying vehicle, they can hold their charges for 1,000 years. And then you charge them every 1,000 years. It's not like you charge them, they charge it themselves every 1,000, 2,000 years. Okay, those guys, things, you're going to have to charge them every day because they are acting like the battery thing can go that far. Okay, that's all electrical. Now, CNG is a form of fuels, a concentrated compressed gas. Like it's air gas, so to speak. It's gaseous, not a liquid type of form of gas, but air. Okay, they are making those trucks running on CNE, which is fantastic, which is great, but they charge you an arm and a leg to convert it. So now those trucks are not safe. Okay, the way 83 is doing things out, they are not safe. And of course, beloved, they are not under the blessing anymore. Now, if in the wind blew, their head just split. The wind blew and they fell off. The wind blew and blew them away because they are now officially under the curse. And all those things are happening to those people now. They don't know why. Okay, the airplanes are falling off the skies, and they keep saying, well, you know, they are falling with Jabba Jar and Jabba the Hutt and stuff like that. Yeah, whatever, man. Let's keep on moving.
The firefighters, we're going to be praying for them. Hopefully they recover.
Certainly, a lot of neighbors are hoping those firefighters recover. We did talk to fire investigators who say the driver of that big rig, a female driver, apparently pulled over and parked because she thought something wasn't right. She was cleared from the scene, and luckily she's okay. We're still working to get more information on who she is and the company they work for. We're live right now in Wilmington.
They can't wait to blame that on this sister. I'm already assuming it's a sister, but anyway, let's keep on moving.
Well, it is now time for our Reporter's Cut, where we highlight all the stories our reporters have been working on. Now, this is a story you will only see on 9. FBI says a Venezuelan gang called Tren de Aragua has made its way to the borderland.
Yeah, that's right. This rapidly expanding gang has spread throughout South America and now into our communities, posing a threat to borderland families. Our Oriana Batoro reports.
Fast
fastest-growing transnational criminal organization known as the Tren de Aragua is a Venezuelan gang that has now infiltrated its way into the United States through various sectors of the U.S.-Mexico border.
That here in El Paso, Tren de Aragua gang members who are identified are put into prosecution pathways for 1325 illegal entry into the United States.
According to a CNN report from Border Patrol, 38 suspected members from the Tren de Aragua have been arrested between 2022 and 2023.
When they come to a new place, they do it oftentimes through immigrant pathways, taking advantage of people from within their own community.
Tren de Aragua is taking advantage of the mass Venezuelan exodus to make their way into the country, and now they are ramping up crime in U.S. cities like Miami and Chicago.
They typically operate mostly on migrant smuggling and human trafficking. Those are their two big criminal enterprises.
But why exactly are they a threat to the borderland?
They also use forms of extortion by going to local businesses that are owned by these migrant communities. And if they don't pay a tax, they extort that money from them.
That sounds like the government for me. You know, those guys are doing stuff. They smuggle people here. Okay, you guys are allowed it. Beloved, let me tell you something when it comes to these immigration things. I say those things in private. Those people are not coming here on their free will. They are not coming here because they can. They come here because they are called to. They are coming here because the border is open unto them. They are coming here because they know if they get here, not only they will let them in, but they will provide for them. 83, especially white folks, their number down, way down. So they have to bring those people here to padded their number. Of course, they need to blame us for what happened. Is well, all those crime going on out there, black people and stuff like that, you know, and things. They are bringing them here so they can step on us and step over and step over us. But it ain't working. And it's not going to work. They are bringing him here to replace us. Well, you couldn't replace us doing chattel slavery, while you couldn't replace us doing acquisition. Those people are not coming here because they can just march their way bravado-like into the border and get in. No. They bring those people here, they pay for their flight, they send them in New York. They let them here. They don't shoot them. They don't kill them. Well, we need to build a wall and stuff. You don't need no damn wall to keep those people out. You never did. You are bringing them here so you can blame certain group of people. Well, so you can blame us for everything that happened. But it seems your little plan is not working now. Like your little distraction and whatever, man. Yo, the sun is wiping you people out. Great glory. We have the good Dr. Campbell. The good doctor about the clot that we're going to see here. All the Jamaican, there will be some blood.
Well, I hope you found those early pictures interesting. They were supplied by Major Tom Haviland, who I'm going to introduce now. Tom, thank you for very, very much for coming on this video.
I have no comments on this, okay? We do know it's the sun doing this, the particle getting in your blood, and they do this. We're just going to take a minute out of the good doc, and then we keep on moving.
John, thanks for having me on the show to talk about this very important topic.
Now, Tom, as the name would imply, has been a major in the United States Air Force for a career. Also an engineer, mathematician, and data scientist and analyst. So in a good position to do this work. Now, what on earth are we looking at here, Tom? Please.
We're looking at white fibrous clots that have been supplied by embalmers. And they're seeing these all around the world. Embalmers are seeing these clots, and they're seeing them actually in a high percentage of their corpses, unfortunately, John. And they've been seeing mostly over the last 3 years. I actually have a small vial of the clots that I can show the audience live.
Mm-hmm.
I'll turn it slowly around so people can see the consistency of them.
Yeah, you can see that really clearly. And what are they, and where did you get them, Tom?
Got these from embalmer Richard Hirschman, who was featured in the Died Suddenly movie. Richard's been sending vials of these out to laboratories and scientists all over the world who are trying to examine the clots and figure out what they're made of. One of the theories is that they're...
one of the theories, okay? One of the theories, because they don't really know what it is.
Made from amyloid protein. Amyloid is AMYLOID. It's just a fancy term for a misshaped or misfolded protein that builds up in our bodies. So,
and there's some fibrin from blood clotting processes in them as well, is there?
Correct. Dr. Ryan Cole has looked at them, the famous pathologist from Idaho, and he says it's a combination of the amyloid protein, fibrin. Our blood has fibrinogen in it that is in liquid form that then converts into fibrin when there's damage done to the lining of the veins or arteries. And that fibrin is white, and then there's also, he's found platelets in there too, and they're colorless. So that combination of fibrin, platelets, and this amyloid or amyloid-like material.
And what's the consistency like? Is it
elastic?
Can you pull it apart? Is it rubbery? What does it feel like?
It's rubbery. It stretches. It's rubbery. It can break if you put enough force on it, but it's almost like a rubber band. Like, it looks like a calamari and kind of feels like a rubber band.
That's all I will take about this, beloved. Let no one try to say, oh, Big Levi, you have to understand. And they did this to their own people, man. They just, Jabberjaw. There we go. Also because they were partying and jamming with Jabberjaw. That has nothing to do with that. Don't let anybody take the credit from the Mighty One. The sun have very small particles that are in the femto. Even some of them are in the Plimpton scale. They are very small. Whether you are inside, you are outside, we did tell those people right after every single time there's a heat wave, and then after that you're going to see during the summer a bunch of people going to drop. There's a heat wave coming. We're about to enter in spring. And right after spring, you'll see a bunch of those stuff happening and those people just drop. Because the sun is targeting their DNA and then it's turning whatever that in there into a form of whatever that rubbery elastic thing is and kill them. Okay, well, at least that's what we believe here. That's all we know. The Mighty One is doing this with the sun, not the Jabba the Jah, or my man here, Jabba the Hutt. There you go. It's not Jabba. That has nothing to do with Jabba. Okay? That has nothing to do with old man Jabba. It has everything to do with the mighty sun. Wait. Solar, the sun, Sol. There we go. This is what doing this. The particle coming out of it. No matter what you do, you are a victim.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Pat Paris.
And I'm Heidi Alaga.
Oh yeah, that's the we watched this already.
It's a cliffhanger for the owners of these $14 million estates that are now hanging precariously over the Pacific Ocean. All three homes sit on the aptly named Scenic Drive in Dana Point, California. They boast spectacular views of the sparkling coastline. But a landslide brought on by California's historic rainfall last week now threatens their existence. Look, these broken steps lead to nowhere. Despite how scary it looks, the owner of this home says that his property is safe for now.
The city agrees that there's no major
those are the millionaire billionaires. Look what's going on to them, and they are very confident my property stays. Yes
issue right now with the house, so it's not going to get red tag.
Red tag or not, would you really want to live here?
You can't red tag those dude, man. Talking about, dog, you can't red tag. This is a millionaire billionaire house. You're gonna red tag him. You're going to cut your paycheck.
The fear is that future storms could bring even more of this cliffside crumbling into the sea. Time and Mother Nature will tell.
We'll see. Let's keep on moving.
Tonight, our cameras captured video of a coyote spotted near an Arlington park where a little...
Okay, we've been talking about those coyotes, but let's see what those people have to say about this. How long we are into good grief.
A boy and a little girl were attacked. The sighting happened late this afternoon. Tonight, there is a call for change and accountability by those who use that popular Arlington Park.
Yeah, the attacks happened on different days, and the kids have been treated and released from the hospital. NBC5's Tahira Rahman joins us now live from Parkway Central Park with one witness's account of what happened. Tahira?
That's right. This woman says that she comes to Arlington from Fort Worth because she loves the parks here. That's where she was yesterday with her 4-year-old son when she ended up having to save another little boy. Now, right now, Arlington police and animal services are out here trying to track down a coyote that we've spotted over the last couple of hours. But this witness says that the city can and should have done more to prevent these attacks, and that's why she's sharing her story tonight.
Can you come here a second?
This isn't the park Estrellita de Cleats usually takes her son to, but she's still reeling from their experience on Tuesday at Parkway Central Park, just a few miles away.
All of a sudden, I heard a mom scream, "Oh my God, that dog just bit that kid."
They soon learned that dog was actually a coyote. DeCleat says the little boy was next to the swings with his brother.
I immediately called 911, went over to the little boy, and the little boy, his whole shirt was filled with blood, and he was crying. And
DeCleat says the victim's mom was in her car nearby at the time with other kids and seemed to be in shock. DeCleat wants to know why the public wasn't informed or the park closed after a coyote had attacked a little girl here on Saturday.
Because I never would have brought my child, and I don't think any of the other parents would have brought their children.
Because it's such a rare incident, we didn't think that something would happen again.
Animal Services says they set out traps on Saturday and had been monitoring the area when they got Tuesday's report. Crews also here Wednesday when we spotted one coyote in the afternoon, hovering as kids walked home from school. We intervened, walking with one of them until he got safely to his parent.
There is nothing wrong with making people aware. To be aware is to be alive.
Curtis Edwards lives nearby and says the city should have at least put up signs about the attacks.
I've been in fear of my life a few times.
He's tried to prompt a response from the city too after his own coyote run-ins. A car passing by honked to alert him.
Otherwise, I probably would be a victim as well.
Edwards and DeCleats now thinking about their kids' safety.
He's like, "Mommy, why did the coyote bite the little boy?"
DeCleat says her son was in the same spot as Tuesday's victim.
Why is the coyote buying the boy? Well, while beasts will be their grave. And those coyotes, they are not moving to the neighborhood because, oh, there is no food in the wild. What they are noticing ever since 2020, there are fewer people because they are animals. There are fewer people in whatever area, and they will overtake in their area. Just like the same thing that's going in Japan with the bear attacks. The moment the animals realize they can sense the ley line, there's not that much of people living over there, or not much of people that are threatened, and the mighty one turned the blessing unto us. They're going to attack that whoever don't stay here, they will attack them. Just like in the book of Kings, when Nebuchadnezzar was doing the first I believe the second or third captivity of Jerusalem, and the land was given over to Nebuchadnezzar, and he had Daniel, go over there to the land, because the priests that were upon the land, the priests of Mahan, they didn't know how to do the land. The Samaritan and the others, they were sacrificing and throwing their children in the fire so it will rain, so they will have a good harvest. Also, they would win the lottery and things like that. They were doing too many sacrifices, and the Messiah got pissed off, and he sent a bunch of lions upon them to kill them. And they realized the Holy One was against them, so they told Nebuchadnezzar. So Nebuchadnezzar sent Daniel over there, and Daniel baptized them. That's what baptism is. Made them into a lower priesthood so they can go ahead and serve the Messiah better. That's all it was. Okay? So now, because of this, and they become the lower priesthood, but we are the higher priesthood. We don't need to do the things that those people are doing. And then they were serving the Most High because we couldn't do it because we were under the curse, and Daniel make them into a lower priesthood, and then they were serving the Mighty One to a certain extent, and then the animals left. Well, the same thing is going on over there. That's what that is.
Just minutes before the attack.
And that's what, kept me up all night last night.
Now, as I mentioned, Arlington Police and Animal Services are still out here trying to locate that coyote that we've seen over the last couple of hours here. Meanwhile, we've asked the city if they plan to post any messages out here warning people passing by to be a little more cautious. They say they're still working on that answer for us.
Of course, but if it was some money you guys are wanting to send to Ukraine and Ish and bringing more migrants, you will say yes.
We have new information just in about the family of 4 found dead inside their San Mateo home.
Oof.
It includes how the parents died. But the biggest question, why? It remains a mystery. NBC Bay Area's Marian Faro is live at the San Mateo Police Department with what she just learned. Marianne.
Well, police just told us both the man and woman inside the home were found with gunshot wounds, but they say they still don't know how the twins inside the home died. Now, police were called to the home on Alameda de las Pulgas yesterday after receiving a call for a welfare check on Monday morning from the family's nanny. When they went inside, officers found twin 4-year-old boys dead in a bedroom and a man and woman both shot to death in a bathroom. Sources with direct knowledge of the investigation say police believe the boys were smothered, strangled, or given a lethal overdose because there was no sign of trauma on their bodies and they had no gunshot wounds.
It's being investigated as a murder-suicide with all the evidence that we found so far, with all of the individuals that we found inside the home.
Today, we talked with neighbors of the family, and they told us that the couple had lived in the home more than 4 years, and they were very friendly. They would often walk together in the neighborhood and seemed like a happy family.
For sure, loving. We would, from before the babies were born, we would see the husband and the wife just taking a walk while she was pregnant, and then later on when the babies were just taking them out for a walk.
That's the huge tragedy of it all. I just can't imagine how someone could do that to their own children.
There you go. Beautiful family, man. Beautiful family, and they got a nice cake over there, to the little children. All right. So a lot's going on. We'll go a little bit of the possibilities, but yeah.
These are photos of the family. Friends identify them as Anand Sujit Henry and his wife, Alice Benziger. According to court records, the husband filed for divorce in December of 2016, but apparently did not go through with it. Police say they have been called to that home several times in the past, but they would not disclose the nature of those calls. They also say they did not find any note at the home, and as best they can tell, there is no temporary restraining order that has been filed. Right now, the big question is the motive for this case.
Why?
Reporting live in San Mateo, identified.
So now you got this beautiful family living the blessing, okay? And you've been seeing a lot of those so-called Elamites in the news, and a lot of things are happening to them, okay? They got the pine cone over there, the entheogen is here, which, speaking to a lot of people that can understand the language. Now, many things can happen here. Since 2016, the fellow, he filed for divorce, but didn't go through it. If he did go, he most likely would have been here, and those kids wouldn't be here, I'm assuming. It could be anything, beloved. Most of the time, it has nothing to do with cheating. Okay, those people cheat on each other all the time, and they know it. As long as the money is flowing. But we had talked about certain things. This is just me speculating. I despise doing this, but it's a sin. But I'm speculating. It could be something to do with financial. You see, cryptocurrency crash. Crash. No matter what people are saying out there, this thing is not. It was doing good. It was a good thing. I don't call it cryptocurrency. I call it Bitcoin. Bitcoin was the Hashman. I did love Bitcoin in 2014, 2015. I love it. I love the Bitcoin. I love dealing with it. But ever since they got those dudes getting involved, those Elon Musk getting involved, they effed it up. So I didn't continue the investment. But hey, it could be anything. But great glory, beloved. This is a horrible thing. 4 of them. Okay, the whole family is gone. We don't know what happened here. All right, we don't know what happened. Okay, husband, wife, twin boys. Twin boys that they can't enjoy the blessing anymore, man. Keep on moving.
Where is Darnell Taylor? Tonight, pictures of him line the walls of his biological family's home. It's been nearly 48 hours since Taylor and his legal guardian, Pammy May, disappeared, and there's still no sign of them. Good evening, and thanks for joining us at 11. I'm Yolanda Harris.
And I'm Andrew Kinsey. Tonight, Darnell's family is speaking for the first time about his disappearance, and they spoke only to 10 TV's Carly Dion, who's live in studio tonight with this story. And Carly, this interview, quite emotional.
It is, Andrew and Yolanda. Tonight, I spoke with Anthony and Tawanda Baines, who say they're the biological grandparents of Darnell and have been friends with Pammy May for many years. They shared with me what they would say to Pammy if they had the chance.
Just in disbelief right now,
A family in shambles.
Pammy, what you doing?
A desperate plea from Darnell's biological grandparents, just hoping to get their grandson back.
This is Darnell. You love him. Please, bring him home.
Anthony Baines says a friend called them early Wednesday morning saying there was an Amber Alert for Darnell.
I couldn't believe my ears.
we didn't see this coming at all.
Now, Anthony and his wife Tawanda say they feel partially to blame.
See, it's kind of our fault that Pammy got Darnell.
The couple says they used to take care of Darnell, but it got to be too much for them.
Darnell's kind of rough. We couldn't handle him. I hate to say we couldn't handle him, but we didn't want him in the system.
So Anthony says they looked to their close friend who was like family, Pammy. Darnell's aunt, Quenisha King, says she's known Pammy since she was 5 years old.
This is not like her at all, the person that I thought that I knew.
King says her family hasn't seen Darnell since last July, not long after Pammy and her husband gained legal custody of him. The family says Pammy used to attend every birthday, cookout, and holiday, but out of nowhere, she stopped answering their calls.
We've been out there to their homes, knocking on the front door, the side door.
I believe they find this little boy. They found his body. Yeah, they find a body though an hour ago. Let's finish this and then we'll take the other.
No answer.
We thought maybe she's keeping him from us so he can be a part of their family first. But 6 months, that's a long time.
With very few answers to their questions, their family is choosing to focus on the good, like that infectious smile they know and love.
As you can see the pictures, he's something else.
Their love for Darnell on full display.
He has a bubbly personality. He's always smiling, always dancing.
We just wanted to see him, spend time with him, love on him.
As they continue to hope and pray for a positive outcome.
Pammy, just bring him home. You guys come on back wherever you at.
Okay, I believe the little boy did not survive. That's the one right there.
And after nearly 3 days, Columbus police now reveal what they believe happened to this little 5-year-old boy. Police say his legal guardian, Pammy May, is in a hospital near Cleveland after someone at a business there saw her and called police. Columbus police say they are now investigating Darnell's death as a homicide. 10 TV News reporter Tara Jabor joins us now from Pammy May's home on Reeb Avenue in South Columbus. That is, of course, where the investigation started. Tara.
Well, Tracy, there are still a couple Columbus police vehicles here, and we now know that Darnell's body was found just about 4 miles from the Mays home here on Reeb Avenue. Now, earlier today, Columbus police revealed that someone in the Cleveland area called 911 around 9:30 last night when they saw Pammy May outside of a business. Columbus Police Chief Elaine Bryant says that she was still wearing a nightgown. Now, police say after Pammy May was taken into custody in Cleveland, that's where they interviewed her, and from that interview they were able to get information that Darnell's body may be in a sewage drain on Marsdale Avenue. Shortly after that, police say they found the body believed to be Darnell's around 1 a.m. We know right now that Pammy May is still in the hospital in the Cleveland area, but Columbus police is working to get her transported to Franklin County. Police did not tell us what she is being treated for.
Based on the 911 call, we believe that he was killed here, just based on what we heard. I'd like to thank the community for your continued support, your concern, and your partnership.
Now, police do say that they are working with prosecutors to charge Pammy May with murder. We know that she is already charged with child endangering and kidnap. We'll keep you updated when we learn more about when Pammy May could be extradited back here to Central Ohio.
So, again, beloved, a lot of demonic people out there, you know, their eyes, their smile. And people are saying, well, it's mental health. No, it's not. They're just demon. They just hate your kids. They'll take them and then they'll literally do stuff to them. There's nothing we can do about this. And, hey, let's keep on moving, man.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Greg Glover.
And I'm Cindy Sexton. The body of missing Meigs County Deputy Robert R.J. Leonard has been found.
Okay, there you go. I knew they find the guy. They find the cops, okay? All right, they find the fellow.
Tennessee River after a 16-hour search. Deputy Leonard was driving back to the jail last night with the woman he was arresting when they disappeared.
Local 3's Jeremiah Beatty joins us live from Meigs County.
Always have to send a black person with it, but anyway.
County, Jeremiah, what can you tell us?
Greg, Cindy, what made this investigation challenging for investigators was the murky water from the Tennessee River. They say his body wasn't far from where his patrol car was discovered. People in this community tell Chief Brian Malone with Meigs County became emotional as he...
So you heard what they say? The area, it's an area they can't get any signal in it. And then this is that woman reporting to that place. Look what happened here.
He wasn't far from where his patrol car was discovered. People in this community tell...
Okay. You know what that is when things like that happen?
This community tell...
Okay. So this area has a very powerful ley line, especially for those of you that are in your home and there are certain spots in your home you can talk on it on your phone. That's the best spot around your house. Use this spot to pray and meditate.
Brian Malone with Meigs County became emotional as he shared one final update. His deputy would not be returning to his family as he had hoped.
Like I've stated all day, I appreciate every department that has spent countless hours out here.
Deputy Robert Leonard worked with the Sheriff's Department for 2 months. He was from New York and had already made a lasting impact in his short time here.
He was very professional, very nice. He cared about the community.
Investigators say the deputy was responding to an incident call Wednesday night, which ended in an arrest. He was driving back to Meigs County Jail when they heard him say water on the radio. The body of the woman he arrested was in the back seat of the car, and the deputy's body was found hours later. A mix of emotions for the community as they held on to hope he would be okay.
We're feeling sad and confused, worried about the families.
Investigators believe this was an accident and say the terrain by Blythe Ferry is dangerous and more safety signs are needed.
I'm forever thankful. I just ask you to continue to pray for both victims in this. Pray for them and their families that they make it through it.
Deputy Leonard's body was transported to Knoxville. This investigation is ongoing. Stay with our news team for the latest.
Yeah, so they find a cop, man. He was driving, just arrested someone. Both of them are normal. People want to sit there and say, well, this is normal. Great, let's keep on moving.
New details surrounding the OnlyFans drama in Lake County. A total of 8 kids are now kicked out of a Christian prep school in Tavares after a mom's complaint about another woman's OnlyFans decal goes viral. We first told you about Michelle Klein, who had that decal on her vehicle. Her 2 kids were kicked out last week.
Now, the mom who complained in the first place says that her kids are also being punished after she spoke out. Fox 35's Marlisa Goldsmith joins us live in the Alert Center to explain why. Marlisa.
Yeah, John, today we spoke with that mother who initially complained about another parent having that OnlyFans decal on the back of her car that you see right here in this video. Well, that mom says she was just venting about what she saw in the school pickup line. But now, because of her vocal social media post, all 6 of her kids have been expelled. It started with this video posted on TikTok.
So I am coming on here to vent.
Lake County mom Lexi Thomas upset about this car in the pickup line at Liberty Christian Prep School in Tavares.
I'm stunned. I'm shocked. I was disgusted. Like, why am I looking at this?
The car has an OnlyFans decal on it, advertising a site that includes pornography.
Text him and I said, yeah, this is not cool. We're gonna do something about this.
And that set off a social media firestorm and led to the school expelling the 2 children of the mom driving around with the OnlyFans ad. We spoke with Michelle Klein last week.
I don't feel like I should be judged for what I'm doing.
Now Thomas tells Fox 35 her 6 children have been kicked out of the school too because she aired her complaints on social media. This is the letter Thomas provided Fox 35. It says in part, a student may be expelled as a result of a parent or student causing unresolved disharmony and conflict with staff or other parents. Thomas says she disagrees and says she was just venting about what she saw on the school pickup line.
I think they created disharmony within the community by allowing for pornography to be advertised for 2 years on private Christian school grounds.
Thomas's letter, signed by the head of the school, goes on to say, Matthew 18, starting in verse 15, tells Christ followers how to approach conflict with other believers. LCPS believes that standard was not met, which led to your concerns being made public worldwide.
Look, listen, man. Ever since this economy, well, let me start right here. The whole thing, OnlyFans, was started by black women, okay? There were a bunch of group of black women that started this thing, and then once this thing pick up, and then they hand it over to you people. That's what I despise the 2/3. Whenever they got something good going on, they were making money. The guy, the owner of OnlyFans, is making over $300 million a year. Okay, it was a slogan that the 2/3 black girls were doing out there. The 2/3 start this thing. And then now you got all those OnlyFans moms, the Christians, the online politicians, all those people, they are struggling. The blessing is I'm sorry. The blessing is done. Okay, a lot of them are online. Okay, you got a lot of those people on OnlyFans doing stuff. And then they will bring their kids to the Christian, and they will tell you Matthew 15 quoting Bible. They say, hey, you're a non-believer. Yo, man, let me do my thing. All right, that's what those people are doing. But hey, the whole thing with the OnlyFans thing, that's it's those people. They did this. All right, the so-called politician and those people are higher up, and they have the Christian kids to school. They can't pay, they don't have the money and stuff. Hey, they're using that OnlyFans, man, because that's all they've been doing, and that's all they can do. The blessing is over.
When we asked the private Christian school for an interview on Monday, a spokesperson said no comment.
Of course.
Now a total of 8 children, 2 from the original OnlyFans complaint, and now Thomas's 6 kids have all been expelled this month.
I feel like as a Christian institute, you have to make a stand for biblical truth if that's what you're going to proclaim.
Thomas says she doesn't regret venting on TikTok.
I'm angry because I feel like if this has been a running problem, then this is a threat to my children's innocence.
Now,
Yeah,
the
there
school
you
letter
go.
that Lexi Thomas received says if she refrains from further gossip and removes her references about this on social media, then school officials will set a time to discuss next steps about re-enrollment. Lexi says her content is going to stay up. She is not taking down her truth. Live in the Fox 35 Alert Center tonight.
Okay, those people are glorified. They are part. When our women start this thing in back pages, for those of you that know what back page was, they come into that thing hard. The first thing they bought about back page was child trafficking, because they saw the women were amassing wealth. The men and women were making so much money in back page. They shut it down. They swagger jacket. They give it to a white man. Well, our people could not wait to hand that thing over. But anyway, man, let's keep on moving.
We begin with breaking news. Viewer video showing the moment a woman is pulled from the ocean after near drowning this afternoon. This happened in Fort Lauderdale. Beachgoers watching the scene play out in shock. Officials say she jumped off a wave runner but never resurfaced.
And Local 10's Roy Ramos live now with this rescue on the water today. Roy.
Calvin and Nicole, this all happened right outside of the Ocean Sky Hotel and Resort here. While the scene has been cleared, many people, as you mentioned, were standing on the beach as this all happened in shock. Some of them even pulling out their cell phones. Take a look at this cell phone video capturing that moment that the woman is pulled from the beach behind that hotel and resort. And in that video, you can see those first responders placing her on a stretcher while paramedics work to try and save her life. This, of course, all as hotel guests watch from the beach. Sky 10 was up above near Northwest 40th Street and Galt Ocean Drive after Fort Lauderdale Fire Rescue began to receive these 911 calls of that woman who may have drowned while out on a personal watercraft. Now, according to Fire Rescue, that woman reportedly removed her life jacket, as you mentioned, before then jumping in the water. When she never resurfaced, people began to call 911, and it didn't take long for divers to arrive. As they began to search this area, that woman was found and pulled to the surface in cardiac arrest. Now, we're told that that victim was rushed to Holy Cross Hospital to be treated. At last check, she was in critical condition. But just a few moments ago, I did get a chance to speak with a few witnesses about what they saw and how long that woman may have been underwater. Take a listen to what they told.
She got on the jet ski about 2 or 3 minutes out. She fell off. Those guys ran. One guy ran in about 5 minutes later. He kept.
This is what happened when you use a katana to get yourself a haircut. This is what happened when you use a switchblade to get yourself a haircut. Yes, sir. This is what happened to the... Let's get another angle here. Look at the line right here.
Kept going up and down to the beach, and they screamed, called the Coast Guards. Two of them got on the jet skis. They couldn't find her.
This is what happened, beloved, when you use your lawnmower as a clipper. That's what happened. This is what happened when you use a bow knife. You know those giant bow knife, Kodak Grundy had one. You know those military-like knife? And then you look at this dude, highbrow, man. Like, yo, son, this is like drawn. And it's bling bling. This dude, those people can't stop swagger jacking. They just can't. Boy.
Took about 30 minutes before anybody found, maybe 45 minutes before they found her.
But then we saw the divers, go in, and one of them signaled. They had her, brought her out, and then we could see them doing CPR out on the boat.
That person didn't know how to swim. Fort Lauderdale for the win. Great glory. Let's keep on moving.
Following more breaking news now, this time from Tinley Park, where today the man accused of killing his wife and 3 daughters over the weekend was in court. And we learn what prosecutors say was the motive behind the crime. NBC5's Lexi Suter reports.
We're learning new details today of how a domestic family argument turned into a deadly shooting. Assistant State's Attorney Scott Clark.
The defendant called 911 dispatch for the Tinley Park Police Department and reported that his wife had been shot.
That was Sunday morning around 11:20. When police arrived and spoke with defendant Maher Kassim, he directed officers to the basement where police discovered his wife and 3 daughters all shot to death.
The officer asked the defendant, quote, "This was you?" And the defendant nodded his head in the affirmative. The defendant stated, quote, "I'm the only one. I'm the only one, unquote.
The defendant also showed officers where he was hiding not one, but 2 guns in the home. The 19-year-old son of the couple witnessed the argument and the shooting.
Witness 1 observed the defendant shoot victim 4 and then walk toward the exit from the basement where the defendant shot victim 1 twice.
All of the victims were shot multiple times all over their bodies. As for a motive, the defendant allegedly told police it was all about money and that he had just retired.
That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you. It's all about the money. The moment the money stop, yo, life stop too. You worried me because I'm a high value and stuff like that. I lost. Hey man.
Tired after working most of his life.
The defendant lay twice.
All of the victims were shot multiple times all over their bodies. As for a motive, the defendant allegedly told police it was all about money and that he had just retired after working most of his life.
The defendant later said, quote, "Wife's worried about money and where she can take it. Bury me and take the money," unquote.
After hearing the state's case, the judge said that Mr. Kassem is a threat to his surviving son and also to the community. Therefore, he will be staying behind bars until his next hearing. We expect to see him back in court on February 16th.
Talking about this, man, I'm gonna get yo, man, money, dog. Talking about this hash right here, son. The moment the money stop, think you can leave me? Let's listen to what the fool said again, all right?
Defendant shoot victim 4 and then walk toward the exit, and the defendant nodded his head in the affirmative.
Where police discovered his wife and 3 daughters
You know
all
what? Let's
shot
watch
to
the
death.
whole thing.
We're learning new details today of how a domestic family argument turned into a deadly shooting. Assistant State's Attorney Scott Clark.
The defendant called 911 dispatch for the Tinley Park Police Department and reported that his wife had been shot.
That was Sunday morning around 11:20. When police arrived and spoke with defendant Maher Kassem, he directed officers to the basement where police discovered his wife and 3 daughters all shot to death.
The officer asked the defendant, quote, "This was you?"
What happened here?
And the defendant nodded his head in the affirmative.
Yes.
The defendant stated, quote, "I'm the only one. I'm the only one," unquote.
The defendant also showed officers where he was hiding not 1, but 2 guns in the home. The 19-year-old son of the couple witnessed the argument and the shooting.
Witness 1 observed the defendant shoot victim 4 and then walk toward the exit from the basement where the defendant shot victim 1 twice.
All of the victims were shot multiple times all over their bodies. As for a motive, the defendant allegedly told police it was all about money and that he had just retired after working most of his life.
The defendant later said, quote, "Wife's worried about money and where she can take it. Bury me and take the money," unquote.
After hearing the state's case, the judge said that Mr. Kassem is a threat to his surviving son and also to the community. Therefore,
Beloved, like we said, the moment the blessing is over, those people that used to fake it like they are so in love with each other, the children are smiling and bubbly personality and all this stuff because they had the blessing. The moment this blessing is done, the women like, you're not making the kind of money that you used to make anymore. I want you out of my home. You ain't gonna sit there and be retired. Go back to work and bring this money in here. I need my nails done. I need this done. Well, they got a son. He's 19 years old. And the guy just told you the wife is only worried about money. That's all it is, brethren. That's all. I follow those people very closely on what they are saying online and what they are saying offline. And I realized the blessing was all they had. And I realized more the moment the Mighty One cut the blessing, it also cut the life support. Great glory.
Another developing story out of New Jersey where law enforcement rushed to a restaurant in response to the shooting death of one of their own. Passaic County Sheriff Richard Burdnick died by an apparent suicide. And tonight, News 4's Checky Beckford live in Clifton to explain what happened just moments before Checky.
Well, David, witnesses say the sheriff apparently was having lunch here before walking into the bathroom and apparently taking his own life. Condolences tonight pouring in from all over. The sheriff apparently beloved by those who worked with him. Governor Phil Murphy putting out a statement saying he and First Lady Tammy viewed the sheriff as a close friend. Deputies stood in salute tonight alongside the ambulance carrying their fallen leader.
I think I affectionately refer to him as America's sheriff.
Patterson Mayor Andre Sayek confirming Passaic County Sheriff Richard Burdnick had apparently taken his own life inside this Clifton restaurant.
I was with him yesterday. We swore in 8 new police officers, and my last words were to him, Sheriff, get in the picture with us. Get in the picture.
The mayor had been at Toro Restaurant earlier in the day to present the key to the city to its owner for donating meals to the hospital during the pandemic.
Okay, wait. Seems like there's a very interesting picture here.
Him yesterday, we swore in 8 new police officers, and my last.
This picture is very telling right there. This is a very telling picture here. I don't know why they have this here. And Martin is in the midst of here. I don't know. Well, let's see.
Last words were to him, Sheriff, get in the picture with us. Get in the picture.
The mayor had been at Toro Restaurant earlier in the day to present the key to the city to its owner for donating meals to the hospital during the pandemic. The sheriff did not attend the event.
He was having lunch, late lunch here with no problem, and all over the sun. This is happening. I came here because I couldn't believe it. I was in my office. I couldn't believe it.
The shooting happened around 3:30 when the restaurant was open to the public. A source with the city of Patterson says Sheriff Burdnick died of an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound in the basement bathroom of the restaurant. It's unclear how many patrons and workers were inside at the time.
Again, beloved, the moment the money start flowing and the blessing is over, those people are out of here. They are checking out. They're checking their children out. You know, the extended stay is done at that hotel. You can't pay it anymore. Get out. That's what that is, man. Great glory.
Not only lost a great sheriff, we lost a great friend. We lost a phenomenal human being.
The respect and affection for Sheriff Burdnick evident among public officials.
I look back on all my text messages between the two of us. I've known him for 14 years. He was a exemplary law enforcement leader, and he was a cherished friend.
Burdnick was elected to his 5th term as sheriff after taking office in 2011. His death coming a week after our partners at the Bergen Record reported Burdnick sent a memo to his department noting the difficult time in the agency and the need to lay off 29 jail correction officers. 3 correction officers were also charged last week for allegedly beating an inmate. It is unclear if any of this played a role in his death.
I saw the sheriff not too long ago, a couple of days ago, and he was great. He was in good condition. He was healthy.
We're going to miss Richard Burdnick, our sheriff.
The Passaic County District Attorney's Office has not released any information about the sheriff's death at this point. Sheriff Burdnick leaves behind a wife and 4 adult children. We're live in Clifton. Checky Beckford, News 4, New York.
Checky, thank you. If you or someone you know is in crisis, help.
Again, beloved, as you can see,
National Suicide Prevention
as you can hear, this thing is heavy
on your screen. It's just
upon those people. It's heavy. It's super heavy.
The final moments of a North Las Vegas pastor's life, captured on video, is now revealed in a newly filed wrongful death lawsuit. This is the woman accused of killing the pastor, his next-door neighbor, Joe Junio. She is now charged
those
with murder,
pastors are
attempted
catching
murder,
hell.
and child abuse. Fox 5's Kim Passoff is live tonight with the details behind those charges.
The pastor's wife, who was also shot that day, filed this 13-page complaint wrongful death lawsuit seeking an unspecified amount of damages, sharing with the world what happened that day that her husband's life was taken, allegedly by an angry neighbor. This is a screenshot from a video taken by one of the pastor's children, ages 12 and 15, from inside the family's car as their father, 46-year-old Nick Davey, was shot and killed in front of them. Their mother, Sarah, shot moments later, survived.
Your mind just can't process that.
Fellow pastor of Grace Point Church, Ty Neal, says the family was terrorized for weeks by their neighbor to the point that they had left their home and were staying elsewhere. Neal, who lives nearby, heard the shots that day.
I heard some pops.
It happened December 29th on Lookout Lodge Lane, inside the gated Court of Aliante, a community of townhomes. Court documents say the neighbor confronted the pastor and his family in front of his home after he made complaints about her to their homeowners association. The lawsuit alleges the HOA then told her about those complaints. Though the lawsuit does not name the HOA, it says, quote, the Homeowners Association knew or should have known that defendant would likely perform violent actions against deceased and plaintiff as a result of ongoing association dispute.
So yeah, man, they are going at each other's throat, taking each other's out. Great glory.
And who was killed with his girlfriend at a birthday party in the Katy area. The couple
Two-third being a miss.
His birthday were killed there on Russet Leaf Lane Trace. And tonight we obtained new surveillance video capturing some of the chaos. ABC 13's Alex Bojargian joins us now with some of that video you'll only see on 13, Alex.
The video shows what appears to be a woman yelling, and she's running, telling her friends to run as well. And then you hear tons of gunshots ring out, and two separate cars drive by the security camera. So given investigators telling us that about 10 to 20 people were at this gathering, we asked them, do they have a suspect or vehicle description at this point? They tell me they had nothing to release tonight. It's unclear who, but someone tied to a Katy shooting that killed 3 people was running for their lives that night. The timestamp shows the person runs out of view at around 2:13 a.m., and not too long after, a car flies by. A different camera on the same house then picks up what sounds like rapid gunfire. And then another car flies by. The shooting started here at this short-term rental during a birthday party, according to investigators. Lauren Welch says her brother Nicholas King and his girlfriend Alicia Rice went together. And by morning, her family got word of a triple homicide at the same address. The family rushed to the scene, and their grief unfolded in front of our camera.
I looked over and I saw his car. And then shortly thereafter, the deputy on the scene delivered the news to me and confirmed that they were inside, and you can never describe that moment.
I watched you watch them take both of them out of that house, and you reached out your hand. I remember seeing that.
All I could think was, that's my brother. It was like, I could see the different compositions of their bodies, and we couldn't cross the caution tape, and it was just like, I think that's my baby.
According to the medical examiner, Michael Abodo was also shot and killed. Allegedly, the birthday party was for him. The report says King and his girlfriend died together in the kitchen of the home.
I know that he wouldn't wanted to have lived, without her. When I think about other scenarios where one could have made it and the other couldn't, I don't think they could have made it through that.
Alicia was headed to law school, according to Welch, and King was preparing to propose. The two had already blended their families.
I want to know what happened. I've seen little bits of, ring cameras and what have you, and that's not enough. There were multiple people there that know what happened and know more.
And they won't say anything.
Of
course, with the whole thing, and happy Thanksgiving, happy, Halloween, holiday, happy Christmas, Merry Christmas. Yeah.
They come forward.
In Houston, I'm Alex Bojargian, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
All right, let's keep on moving, beloved.
Straight.
And wasn't aware of that they were missing until the police knocked on his door Tuesday night.
John Passero, that's the guy. I think we're done here. We're done. Beloved, that's like two weeks ago. We will leave you with love. We'll leave you with light, great abundance. We say shalom. See you next time.